previously we have covered linear regression, logistic regression, and some of the stats and Python language. Okay, so if you are unfamiliar with any of those, please go and watch them, then come to this video. So today's our agenda is to understand what is the decision tree, and we'll try to implement or make out a model of decision tree from the sample dataset. So that's our today's agenda. So if you have not watched the previous videos, please go to the playlist and watch out that. Okay, so let's get started. So first, what is decision tree? Okay, let's see that. So we are going to see the maths as well, because this concept is one of the simplest concept among all the other algorithms. So suppose we have, okay, let me give an example. Okay, yeah, so here you can see our intention is to find based on weathers and its sub attributes. We need to find, that is based on our given data, we need to say that should we play today or not. Okay, so first thing what they are checking is they are checking whether it is, what is the weather, whether it is a sunny or cloudy or rainy. If it is a sunny, then they have to take one more decision, whether it, what is the humidity, whether it is a high humidity or whether it is a normal humidity. So based on that, they are finally saying, okay, yes, today we need to play, or no, today we need not to play. So here basically they are dividing the data set, or okay, so conceptual wise you are good, right? So how it happens is, first we are considering to take decision on the weather, then we are taking considering based on humidity. So here it is like, even with the common sense we can say that first we have to take decision on weather and then based on humidity or wind. Okay, but in general we'll have hundreds and hundreds of columns, or I can say attributes. So first we should take decision on which attribute, then we should go for which attribute. So how does an algorithm decides which attribute to consider first to take decision? Okay, so that we are going to see today, like based on the maths. Okay, and for example sake, we have taken this data set that based on age and gender we have to calculate, or we have to predict that whether he or she is going to party or not, going to party or not going to party. So 1 means going, 0 means not. So for taking this decision, first whether we should see the gender value, or first whether we should take decision based on age value. So it's like in this tree on the first level, are we considering the age, or first we are considering gender? Based on that, how we are calculating whether to consider which attribute, the same process will happen on the next levels. Okay, so before going to understand how an algorithm decides which attribute to consider first and which attribute to consider the next level, we are going to see what are all the different parts of the decision tree. Okay, so for that, yeah, let's just see this. Okay, so this is our one node, this is our next node, I can say second level, this is, I can say, third level. Okay, this I can say fourth, this like this. Okay, now some people say this as a 0th level. So based on that, they can say this is first, this is second, this is third. So that is just a naming convention. We can go either of the ways. The only thing is we need to understand what it is. Next is the names of the nodes. Okay, so if you can see, this is at the top level, right? So this we can call it as a parent node or as a root node. Okay, now next to these, that is neither at the bottom nor at the topmost, so it is in between, right? These nodes, so these nodes we call it as an internal node, or we can call it as a child nodes as well. Okay, now the difference, like child node, the difference between child node and the internal node is, okay, so all these things, right, all these nodes, we can call them as a children nodes, because this is the children of this. Okay, this is the child of this, but this part, okay, which is not exposed to outside environment, these nodes are called as internal node. And the nodes at the bottom level, which is again exposed to outside world, we can call them as our external node. These are known as external node, and these are also called as our leaf nodes. Okay, and since this is a leaf nodes, It means when we are reaching either of them, we are saying that our predictions output is something that we have concluded. Okay, so the root nodes will consist of the values of the output label. That means whatever we are predicting, right? Whether we are predicting for we are going to the input that have come to us for the prediction is going to party or not going to party. So that value will be there in the leaf node. That is the final concluding node. Okay, so I hope this leaf node, external node, internal node, child node, and this top node, that is our parent node, or I can say root node. Okay, so how the decision happens is, suppose our root node is age, for suppose. Okay, now age is what? It is not a category. We cannot say okay, so if suppose age is like a number, right? So for that we can say, okay, if it is greater than 18, I am going to this side. If it is less than or equal to 18, I am going to this side. So that's how I am creating or I am taking decision based on age. But suppose if it is a weather, or I can say gender. Okay, 1 second, it is stuck. Okay, so for age we have seen, right? That part is gone. Let me check again. Okay, so if it is age, we are saying if it is greater than 18, I am going to go this side. If it is less than or equal to 18, I am going to go this side. But what if it is a but what if it is a weather? So weather is like our categorical value. So for weather we can say, okay, if it is a value 1, I am going to go this side. If it is a value 2, I am going to go this side. If weather has 3 values, I can say if it is a V1, I am going to go to this. If V2, I am going to go to this. If V3, I am going to go this. Okay, so based on such values, so based on whether it is a categorical or whether it is a continuous value, we can take decision of splitting in this manner. Okay, so that was all about nodes and about how we can use the decision tree even for the, I can say for the continuous value or for the categorical value. Okay, next we are going to take this in example. Okay, so now our intention is to find how an algorithm decides what attributes need to be considered at any point of time. Okay, so if we are done with the root node, now we are on the second. So based on this, how we are going to consider which attribute I need to consider here. Okay, and here which attribute I need to consider, right? So that we are going to see as of now. So for example sake, I have taken age and gender, and based on this we need to categorize whether they are going to party or not. Okay, so the party is what? Now party here we can see it is a categorical value. It is going or it is not. It is a categorical value. So for that we are going to use something called as Gini. Okay, so we are going so our intention is to see the information gain. So whichever provides us the most information gain, we are going to go with that. Okay, so for now, because our okay, so this party is our categorical value, that's why we are going to use our method called Gini. Okay, and if we are having a continuous value here, like suppose weight, okay, just an example, that is a continuous value, right? That is not a category. So in that case we are going to go with the method called entropy. So methods here is to identify which attribute needs to be considered at any point of time. Okay, so that is a Gini and that is an entropy. So all these two methods is to find the information gain. Okay, the more information gain is provided by age at that point of time or gender. So if age is providing more information, we are going to consider age for decision making. If information gain is provided by gender is more at that point of time, we are going to consider gender as that node to take the decision. So that's how this process goes on in a recursive manner until we are done with okay, this is my final root, this is my leaf node, and here I can take the decision finally. So how the decision taking, that we are going to consider for now. So for the maths behind that is, first we will see, okay, first we will try to calculate the information gain that we are getting from age category or age attribute. Next we are going to calculate the information gain from the gender attribute. Now based on this, whichever information gain is giving, like whichever attribute is giving us most information gain, that we are going to consider. So this math is going to take a bit of time for calculation. but the algorithm will not take even more than 2 minutes. Okay, so just wait for some time, right? So first what we are going to do is, in age we have how many categories? If I can click on this, I have 18, 19, 20, 21, 4, right? So I am going to see the 18 I am going to calculate separately, 90 I am going to calculate separately, like that I am going to calculate separately, and finally I am going to calculate the G of this so after I am done with all this calculating separately, I am going to consider the weighted sum of all this, and I am going to calculate the information gain from age. Okay, similarly I am going to after doing all the calculation individually, I am going to consider information gain from gender. That's how I am going to compare. Okay, so what is the method? So we are going to use right, so first we'll say we'll focus on age. Okay, now in age, how many we can say with 18? So we can see 1, 2, and there should be 1, 3. So in the age we can see we have 3. So these 3 are the ones who are having age as 18. So we have written our age total as 18. Now out of them we can say 2 of them are belonging to class 1 and 1 of them is belonging to class 0. Okay, so that's what I have written here. So total we have 3 who belongs to age 18, and out of them 2 belongs to class 1, that is party is equal to 1, and class 0 belongs like 1 of them belongs to class 0. Let me select this again for you. Okay, so if you can see, only 1 of them is belong to class 0 and 2 of them belongs to class 1. So I am going to calculate the probability of class 1. Now probability of class 1 is what? 2, that is 2 people belongs to class 1, and how many total we have? 3. Okay, so here we are calculating probability of getting into class 1 or class 0 based on age 18 only. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Now here I need to say that 1 belongs to class 0 and the total are 3. So okay, this is not correct. Let me format everything. Format number. Okay, so here I am going to see we have 1 from class 0 and total of 3, so 0.33. Now what is G of age? So how we calculate G of age is like, I'll have 1 as my max probability. Out of that I am going to subtract my all the P of whatever classes I am having with respect to age 18. Okay, so first I have 0.67 square, and I am also going to subtract all the others, that is 0.33 all square. Okay, so from here, okay, 1 second, I have to write equal to as well. Yeah, so 0.44 is the value that I am getting with respect to age 18. Okay, now what was that? So this is basically we are calculating the impurity. Okay, and what method we are using? The Gini method. And now why we are using Gini method? Because our output is belonging to something called categorical value. Okay, so yeah, let's similarly calculate for all others. Now first thing that we have to find is how many total number of students are there whose age is 19. So let me filter based on that. For 19 I have 3. Okay, let me get back. Okay, so for 19 I have 1, 2 and 3, and out of them I have 2 going to class 1 and 1 going to class 0. So it's like similar to the previous one. So I hope this values will remain same. Okay, yeah, now let's go to class 20. So how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and out of that 4 we have 3 belongs to class 0 and 1 belongs to class 1. So let me write it here. 4 belongs to 4 are 20, 3 going to class 0. So 3 are going to class 0 and 1 is going to class 1, and overall we have how many members? 4 members. So P of class 1 is 1 by 4, correct? And for this we have 3 by 4. So how we are going to calculate G of age is equal to 20? We are going to say 1, that is a total probability. Out of that I am going to subtract the square of 0.25 square minus 0.75 square. Okay, so that was my 0.38. Similarly I am going to calculate for 21. So for 21, how many members are there? 1 2 3 4. 4 members are there, and out of them 1 2 3 are belongs to class 1. Okay, so let me write, total is 4, 3 belongs to class 1 and 1 belongs to 3 belongs to class 1 and 1 belongs to class 0. So it's like, again I'm going to get similar values but in a different. So here the probability of class 1 is 3 by 4 and probability of class 0 is 1 by 4. And I guess because 0.75 and 0.25 we have done previously, so G of class 21 is going to be 0.38. Now finally we have to calculate the information gain we are getting from all these impurities. Okay, so how we are going to do that is something called weighted average. So here we have 3, we need to find total of them. So how many total members we have? 3. Okay, so because so far we have done each category of age class. Now we are going to consider complete age. So complete age column means what? We have to consider all the values under the age. So how many members we have? We have 3, that is 6, and then 10, and then 14. So we have 14. So for calculating the average or weighted average, we can say I have total, let me write, my total people belonging to age group is 14, correct? Now I have to consider all the categories in the age. So what is the first category? The 0.44, and how many members from that class belongs to me? 3. Okay, so how I am going to calculate is, I am going to calculate from here. Okay, so is equal to, so what I need to do is, first I need to write what is my total members. 3 by 3 belongs to class age is equal to 18 and total members are 14. So into, I am going to multiply it with 0.44. That's it. Okay, so this was done with age 18. Similarly, how many belongs to age 19? 3 members belongs to age 19. And how many, what is the impurity we are getting from that? We are getting 0.44 again. Okay, similarly age is equal to 20. How many members are from this class? 4 members out of 14. So I can say 4 by 14 into, what is the impurity or contribution done by this? 0.38. Okay, similarly I can say for class 21 also I have 4 members out of 14, and what is the contribution done by it? 0.38. okay, 0.38. so my value for this is equal to 0.64. Similarly I am going to find the gender value as well. Okay, so this, let me consider this as 0.64. so the similar calculation we can do for this male or female in terms of party, and then we are going to get the IG value. Okay, so one correction here, it is the not the information gain, it is the G of age. Okay, so G of age means the Gini value of that age column, which is nothing but the impurity that age is creating. Okay, so similarly the way we calculate the Gini of age, we are going to find the Gini of gender. Okay, so let's say, okay, keeping aside the maths, we can say that value Y is the Gini of gender. Okay, now since I have taken, okay, so if you do this calculation, right, you might get something less than this. Why? Because I have formatted this as a 2 decimal points, but so I am getting a different value. But if you consider this as a fraction itself, like instead of 0.67, if you keep it as a 3.3 by 9, similarly here 1 by 4, so there will be some difference because I am considering my values till 2 decimals. So overall you will get some value here, which is G of age, and you are getting some G of Gini of gender, which is value Y. And the after comparing, what you can say is the Gini of gender is greater than Gini of class. So I can say Gini of gender is great. So it means what? So Gini is nothing but impurity. So here the impurity created by gender is more, so I am not going to consider it, because I have to consider, or I have to take the decision as close to the actual value as possible. So I am going to consider the age column as my first attribute. Now next I can use age column again, or I can use the gender column again. Now how that happens, so let me tell you here. Okay, so let's say, yeah, let me open a new Control C, Control V. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's say now we said that we are going to use age. Okay, so here I can take for suppose less than 18, take for suppose greater than or equal to 18. Now next I can take other values as well, or okay, now here we had the overall data set, correct? Now the data set used for this part will be all the data set where age is less than 18, correct? So here if you can see, this was our complete data set. Now we are going to consider where age is less than 18, or less than or equal to 18, that means only 18, and the other side. Okay, let's suppose next decision, okay, let's suppose this was our 19 for the ease of understanding. Less than 19 means what? 18 and 19. So here less than equal to, okay, this is greater. So here I can say if it is 18 I am going to go this side, if it is 19 I am going to go this side. So here again I have to take decision whether I am going to consider the age attribute or the gender attribute. Similarly here again I have to calculate whether I am going to take age attribute or the gender attribute. So based on that, again we are going to go with the same calculation, but this time data set will be different, because we have eliminated, we have categorized some part of the data here and categorized some part of the data here. So when calculating the impurity and gains on this side, we are going to consider only the data set where age is greater than 19. So that's how my data set is getting changed, but the process of calculation remains same. I hope that makes sense. Okay, now let's get back to the implementation part. Okay, so first I'm going to import everything that I need, and this is the wine quality. So here I'm having multiple attributes and I need to find the quality based on okay, so this is head part, so it is categorized like, oh, okay, let me get some more information here. Data dot describe. Okay, so you can see for the quality, is there anything with respect to that? Okay, so let me try this. So I want to see that in the quality column and how many categories are there. So I can use unique. Okay, so I can see the quality is divided based on the rating for 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 3. Okay, so basically our intention is to find based on the input given what is the quality here. So we are going to use a decision tree for finding out that. So firstly what we are doing is we are considering all the input labels separately in X and the quality as Y. So this is my segregation. Now I am going to get the instance of decision tree classifier, and that is done. Let me zoom in a bit. Yeah, this was good. Okay, fine. Okay, now this splitting that I have done, right? This was my input features, this was my output feature. Now I'm going to divide the 70% for the training, 30% for testing. This is my X train and Y train, which I'm going to use for training purpose, and X test and Y test for testing purpose. Okay, so after I create a model, I'm going to get the predicted values from the X test. Now based on my predicted value and the actual value, for adding more values you can click here, shift to tab as well. So you can see first I need to pass the actual value and then I need to pass the predicted value. So all this, what does all this means, that we have taken a separate session on that, so you can watch out the previous videos where we are exploring the parameters. Okay, yeah. So here you can see the accuracy that I am getting is 62.5%. Okay, so this was my the percentage of accuracy that I am getting in the very first attempt. And one more thing, you should not only focus on the accuracy but the stability and all as well. But now our intention is to get the concept of decision tree. Okay, next we know that okay 62.5 is our percentage, so we are going to do some tweaking, so some changes in hyperparameters and all those things, so that we can improve our accuracy, right? So here basically I'm trying to scale or my x. So if you know what is scaling, this is in the scale of 7 to 11, this is on the scale of 0 to 1, or I can say 0.7 to 0.8, this is from 1 to 2, this is on the scale of double digits. So all attributes are on different scales, so I am bringing them to a common scale, and then again I am going to repeat the same step, that is splitting and then fitting and then predicting. Okay, so now if I try to find my accuracy, now it is 63. So you can see my accuracy has improved a bit. Like that I can apply many techniques. Okay, now how it is predicting, there is some tree formed already. Okay, now I am not able to see that tree because of some of the libraries issue that I am having, but you can go and watch out the library, watch out the tree. A library, this py.plus. Okay, so for that you can use this library py.plus graph from data. So I am having issues with the installation, so that's why I cannot show you, but you will get the complete tree that it formed internally. Okay, now before going on to the next video, I need to tell you that decision tree, when we never use it in real time, so why did we learn it? Okay, so we have something called ensemble learning, we have something called random forest, and we have those kind of algorithms in which the decision tree will be the part of that process. Okay, so if you are able to understand the decision tree concept and what all happens internally, the next algorithms that we are going to understand, this decision tree will be the part of all those algorithms, which is a very good one, but the basic foundation concept for them is the decision tree. So yeah, that's it for today. If you have any queries with respect to the concept of the implementation, please write down in the comment section, and if you liked my explanation, please share and subscribe. That's it for today. Thank you.